Hey, welcome back. So, just as I promised, we're going to do some reaction videos to some of the PlayStation games that I'm looking at playing on stream. Here we go. Um, we're not going to look at all these just because I don't think it's really necessary to look at them all. But there are some games that look kind of interesting that I want to see. Like Bloody Roar. I mean, that sounds familiar. Let's go ahead and let's watch that. See what that looks like. And we're not going to do any gameplay. We're just going to go straight to the start screen. Hope to see whatever they have shown, whatever they're showing us on here. I'm going to see my reaction to these. I may like some, I may not. Ooh, it's the Hudson Bee. Very metal. Oh, this is a fighting game. Okay. Yeah. It's very headbanging. Yeah. Little air guitar. Yeah, it's a bunny rabbit. Wow. Okay. So, all right. So that is. Oh, and there's going to be a demonstration. Oh, it looks good. Yeah. Checking it out on that screen too. It looks like it's going to be pretty good. So that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to look at in the future to do. Breath of Fire. Not going to do that one. Castlevania. I mean, that's just everybody knows what Castlevania is. City of Lost Children. Let's see what the intro to this looks like. I don't even know what kind of game it is. I don't know if it's a platformer or an action game. Most likely going to be an action game. Yeah. Let's see. The City of Lost Children. It's from Psygnosis. That's promising. Oh, I gotta tell what language I'm in. English.
Little brother must be on his guard.
Wow, that looks terrible.
Kidnapped. Little brother, be very careful. Little brother, don't worry. Listen to one. Another kill. Run, Dudley. Hide. I think you better leave him alone. Wait.
The characters in here look terrible.
Not doing you any harm. Where are you? Come on, little boy.
Cutscene animation isn't that bad, but whenever you see like how little detail these characters have and how polygonal they are, it's really jarring. When did that guy get hit in the head? What's going on? This is this is interesting. Didn't really tell me what kind of a game it is. So is it a stealth game or I don't know. Might I think I probably will play this game at some point. Yeah, I knew it was based on a movie. I haven't seen the movie. I heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it. I haven't even gotten to a title screen yet. It just keeps going on. This part is well done, but yeah, those character designs are just so Gumby-esque. So that's definitely a game I'm going to try in the future. But I do not know if I'm going to enjoy it or not. But that I don't think that'll really matter. Let's see what else we got. Crash Bandicoot, not going to look at. Colony Wars. I think I saw someone do a video on Colony Wars. I think this was part of like their hidden gems or something. So let's check this out. This is the first time I've seen this, so it's another Psygnosis game. Ooh, I won't be using that. It's nice to know that it's an option, though. Psygnosis. I made some really good games. Alright, we are crashing towards Earth. I think.
Our ancestors on Earth had reached out across the universe, civilizing, enriching. Jealous terrorists, the League of Free Worlds, spread vile propaganda, sending death squads to crush and slaughter us. Sealing the warp hole, they fled like cowards.
The voiceover isn't great.
9 planets. 1 sun.
But it was very rare for them to have great voiceovers in any of the games.
We turned on
Not
each other.
Psygnosis, I'm just talking
This
industry-wide.
was Saul, and we were its prisoners. The urge to survive is strong, but if it hadn't have been for crime, we would have given up long ago. This was the world I was born into.
It's very 90s. Well, it didn't really tell me what kind of game this is. Um, I don't know. It looked interesting to me, so I'll probably do a playthrough of this at some point. Let's move on. See what else we have here. Crusaders of Might and Magic, Darkstone. Darkstone is supposed to be a very bad Diablo-style game. I will definitely be playing that in the future. Descent, I played that on the PC. Not bad, not bad, not great. It's a game that I wanna get back into. Discworld, eventually I'm gonna do a Discworld series where we play through the different Discworld games. Digimon, I want to try some of the Digimon games. It's a ripoff of Pokemon. But yeah, let's move on. Ooh, Dune 2000. Now, this isn't gonna be like a first time reaction to this. I've never played Dune 2000, but I've always heard like Dune from Westwood Studios was a good game. Was a really good game. And it's stylized on David Lynch's take on Dune, so it's visually very good. Westwood Studios was known for doing Command and Conquer and Red Alert, and what was some of the other ones that they did? Well, Command and Conquer and Red Alert are the two biggest ones that I can think of off the top of my head. They were good for strategy games. They had interstitial cutscenes that had actors in them, like actual actors in front of a green screen. So the backgrounds kind of look kind of cheap, but they were able to get like some big name people eventually. But they usually started off using people from The Office, at least for the first Command and Conquer series. That's what they did, and then they started getting more professional actors as their budget increased and they became more and more popular with their games. So, in one of the Command and Conquer games, they had Michael Biehn that you might know from Terminator. He played Kyle Reese in that movie, and they even had James Earl Jones at one point, which was really cool. Kind of think of it like if you've ever seen the Wing Commander series and they had those FMV cutscenes that had Mark Hamill as a character. It's kind of like that, but they tend to have better production value, and it really added to the game. It really made it really good, and I kind of miss that kind of thing happening nowadays. They don't really do that in games. Bringing real actors in to do the in betweens, interstitials. So let's take a look at Dune 2000. I'm gonna maybe point some stuff out that I noticed the first time I saw this. Beautiful Sony logo. Excellent PlayStation logo. I love the PlayStation. For that generation of consoles, PlayStation 1. Westwood Studios did get bought out by EA.
The planet Arrakis, known as Dune. Land of Sand, home of the spice melange. The spice controls the universe. Whoever controls Dune controls the spice.
CG is kind of cartoony, but they stayed as true as they could to the. Oh wow!
Controls Dune. There are no set territories, no rules of engagement.
vast armies have arrived. Now 3 houses fight for control of Earth.
3 houses.
The noble Atreides,
Yeah.
the insidious Ordos,
Ordos. Haven't heard of them.
the evil Harkonnen. Only one house will prevail.
Why did it have to be 3 houses? Why couldn't it have just been Atreides
We will die.
and Harkonnens?
We have seen it. But the sisterhood of the Bene Gesserit has been wrong before, from time to time. I am Lady Alara, bound concubine and truesayer to the Punisher Emperor.
I've seen her in a lot of different
I
things.
booked your passage to Dune on this highline. The Emperor discovers this.
She was in Wild Wild West,
He is not a compassion.
and she was also in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
You are here because of the prophecy. My sisterhood has studied your bloodline and your future. We have seen you die many times. We have also seen you rise to command vast armies, bringing peace to Arrakis. Once. That is the prophecy. That is the future we seek.
That's Dune. It's a strategy game, as far as I can recall. Definitely gonna do some. Ooh,
House Atreides. Yes. Of Caladan, the Water Boy.
Mm-hmm.
A fleet of ornithopters ensures the Atreides'
I wanna see this.
ultimate air power.
I didn't see this last time I was
And
watching.
the noble Duke Ethan seeks to ally with the stealthy Fremen desert warriors. If the Fremen agree, the Duke may become unstoppable.
Is he gonna talk about the other houses? I'm gonna wait and see if it talks about any of the other houses.
We know little of the Ordos. It is said their immense fortune comes of smuggling forbidden Ixian technologies into their icy planet. Their wealth makes them paranoid, but powerful. They are masters of sabotage and trickery. They will not trust you easily.
That's interesting. I have to see if House Ordos was made just for this game. Now I should see Harkonnen.
No humanity remains in the Harkonnen of petty crime. Only ruthlessness and brutality. Even their mentor does a Gola corpse, grown in a Tylepsan flesh vat. The Baron vows to cut the durable ring from Leto's hand, and his atomic weapons give her threat no meaning.
I didn't know that Pytar was a golem. But, okay. Alright. Let's move on to some other stuff. That's interesting. I definitely want to try that. I do not know if it's going to be hard to play on the PlayStation, but definitely I'm going to give that a go. Einhander is a shoot 'em up. I already know about that. Ooh, Eternal Eyes. This is the game that I saw. I saw the intro to this last night, and this is when I came up with the idea that I really got to sit down and react to some of these games, because some of these games I pick up just because they look weird or interesting. Something I want to play, like it looks like it might be in a genre that I like. But I just have the image to go off of. I don't really have anything. I don't have any of these games physically. I'm just doing this for demonstration. If I'm going to play the game, I'm going to definitely have a copy of the game. I'm not going to play something on stream or broadcast that I don't actually physically possess. So you might never see me play Einhander because that's an expensive game unless someone wants to donate a copy to me or something like that. And I can do a temporary, I mean, if you want to do a temporary loan or something. No, don't do a temporary loan. That just seems kind of ridiculous. Unless I have a way to actually like physically play off the hardware, don't send me stuff. But let's look at Eternal Eyes. So you have the backdrop of what looks like a castle on the other side of a hill, off in the horizon. You get a dark, ominous sunset or night falling. You got a sword, and then you got those cutout eyes coming through, looking at you, and it's just eternal eyes, and that's all I have to go on. That's all I had to go on until I saw this this introduction. This is something else entirely. So I thought, okay, it's gonna be a bland RPG. You know, I haven't heard of it, so you know, who knows whether it's gonna be any good, or maybe it'll be an action game or something. And then I saw this thing, and I was like, what the hell is that cute little thing doing there? It's part of the load thing. Sunsoft. I was like, okay, that's very promising. They made Batman for NES. Great game. They did a lot of great games. What the hell? Anime girls with oversized eyes. Non-verbal moaning, yelling in the back. Stereotypical composition of anime characters. One looking off, one looking down, one standing there. I mean, I was like, it cuts in with those guys, and it's like that looked like, you know, Charmander. That looks like a Golbat. I know more about the game than when I saw the cover of the game, but because of what I'm seeing, I know even less. This is like some weird fantasy Pokemon RPG thing. I, I I was just completely taken aback. I still have no idea what this game is. It is interesting. I am definitely going to attempt to do a playthrough at some point in the future of this game if I can get my hands on it, as long as it's not a super expensive game. Oh my gosh, there's more. I mean, it does not look good by any means. It doesn't. Okay. Magical puppet monsters. Magical puppet monsters. Puppet monsters. So this, I want to play this. I know it's not going to be good. It seems like it's I'll go back to the main thing. It looks interesting. I'm not a huge fan of anime just for the sake that, ooh, it's anime, I'm gonna like it. It's hard for me to get into an anime series. Just like it is hard for me to get into a TV series. I've had lots of people suggest shows, and whether it's anime or other genre live action shows that they fit within the genres of things that I like, but you don't always get into them. I tried watching Altered Carbon. I like the concepts of that. Didn't really get very far. Don't know if I'm going to go back to it. Things like that. People have suggested Altered Carbon to me. They've suggested what's that? What's that other one that's based on that book series? The Expanse. Got through the first season of that, started watching the second season, didn't really get any farther. I just get farther and farther behind because these are series that I'm not really all that interested in. And it's just as hard for me to get into an anime series. There's plenty of anime series that I like. I like Dragon Ball. I like the shortened Dragon Ball that doesn't have the episode long screaming while powering up series of episodes. You know, the heavily edited one. I like those. I like One Punch Man. I like Attack on Titan. Cowboy Bebop. Pokemon. I could sit and watch Pokemon. Mostly because I watched that as a kid. I don't think I could watch that. I couldn't have gotten into it as an adult. If someone said, "Hey, you never seen Pokemon? You need to sit down and watch Pokemon," I would probably start gouging my eyes and ears out. But I could get into it. This game is going to be one that I'm going to put on my list of games to play in the future. Maybe we'll get some entertainment out of it. Maybe I won't. We will find out. Sorry, my stutter. It's not really a stutter, it's a speech impediment. Let's see. Gauntlet Legends. I definitely want to get my hands on that game because I loved playing that at the arcade. I want to see what that's like. Gunfighter, The Legend of Jesse James. I do not know what that's. Let's take a look at that one really quick. Western genre is a genre I never really fully enjoyed. It's like, it's a Western. I freaking hate Westerns. I don't hate Westerns. I just found a lot of the old-timey Westerns to not be all that interesting. As I've gotten older, I've started to like some of the more specific ones. But I don't like them because they're Westerns. I like them because of their stories. I don't like something just because it's a genre. and I happen to like a bunch of things in that genre. I like them for the elements of the story. 1870. Did that look like a young outlaw? What happened to that guy's nose? He has no nose. It's just all like narrow bridge nose. They spelled bandito wrong. That bugs me. They spelled it bandido as in bandito. Badge or no badge, I'm the law in this town. This is not promising. Daily Bugle. This is New York. Are we going to say a Wild West Spider-Man? Hasn't even started yet, and it wants to take up space in a memory card. That doesn't seem all that surprising. Hellboy. I wasn't into Hellboy back then, but I got into it after the movie came out. So I'm not going to say like I was an original fan of Hellboy. Not going to watch the introduction on that. Let's take a look at the introduction to Hooters Road Trip, because I mean that just looked absolutely ridiculous, and yeah. Hooters Road Trip. You know from a title like that it's going to be terrible. Absolutely terrible. But it might be worth a few laughs. Another Ubisoft game. Ubisoft is either hit or miss. They're either really good or really bad. Hoplite Research. Never heard of them. Of course. My God, it looks terrible. Tacky, definitely. Oh God. Oh God. Really? It sounds like a grungy porno. Well, I figure the game is going to have as much substance as that introduction. Uh, I almost wonder where some of these women are now and how they feel about being immortalized in this fashion. It's sure it was a good fun idea at the time, but yeah. And don't think for a second that I'm above being tacky and trashy myself, or think that I am a white knight or any of that stuff. Yeah, I'm really not getting. I'm not. I. You know, I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna talk about that stuff. It's really not. Really not necessary. Really not part of gaming. Moving on. Get that off of the screen. The Incredible Hulk. That looks interesting. Not gonna see the intro for that. Because I already know what kind of game that is. Same with Iron Man. Legend of the Dragoon. Legend of Gaia. Magic the Gathering. I like Magic the Gathering. It's an incredible money sink, and I just don't ever want to spend my money on a game like that ever again. If I'm going to collect, I'd rather collect something that can hold its value over time, but something that's going to bring me decades worth of enjoyment. And Magic the Gathering does not bring me decades worth of enjoyment. I do not enjoy going back and playing some of my old games or some of my old cards, or finding out that the cards that I have are no longer allowed in tournament play because of how old they are. It's a game that's not very favorable to anybody who is not keeping up with the series. So that said, I wouldn't mind playing the video game version if the video game version is fun. We'll find out at some point when I get around to playing it. We will, however, check out another introduction that I saw last night that piqued my interest. I saw Martian Gothic Unification, and I thought that looks interesting. That looks like it could be either an action or a survival horror game that takes place on Mars. I wonder what's up with that. I've never heard of Martian Gothic. So, without further ado, let's look at this intro. I've already seen this intro. I saw it last night. This just cemented the idea that I needed to do these kind of reaction videos. So let's check it out. It's loading. Load. White screen. Creative Reality. Never heard of any of these companies. I'm sure that's going to be important. A meteorite crashing into Antarctica.
I found myself a king of infinite space.
Were it not that I have bad dreams. 4 centuries passed since those words were written. We had begun to penetrate into this case, bound in and out as a nutshell could be described. But
Who?
we still have our bad dreams. I can
Who?
sense them coming across the midnight space and read the cryptic circuitry of their ship, decipher all the codes of fear in the heart
Takes
of the
place
storm.
last year.
I wish I could tell them what all will be then. Future of drama and hopes of devil. But that is not in my nature. They fear not the friendship, and each name, each individual pain. Calm, Matlock, Henson.
Okay.
3 are coming. Only 2 will leave. The bad dreams will always be with us. Now and again, dreams come true.
Interesting. It looks like a survival horror. It sounds like a survival horror. I really want to play this. The introduction narration is very terribly written. This game seems like it tries really, really hard to be scary. Uh-oh. What's this? Oh, is it just going to go back into... Yeah. It's just going to go right back into doing everything again. So that's those games. Give me just a second. I will actually be back in a second. I need to go use the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let's continue on. See if I can find some more stuff. I mean, we're at the M's so far, so I don't remember how many games I have right now. But we'll definitely take a look. MechWarrior 2, love the MechWarrior series. Always got into the games. Couldn't get into the tabletop version, but I love the lore, love the games. So I'll play that at some point. Medieval is another one I want to try. I already know what that's about. Men in Black, based on the cartoon series, so that'll be interesting. I want to try that. Metal Gear, might do a playthrough of that. Monster Rancher looks interesting. I don't remember how kiddie it was, but it's definitely one that I want to try at some point. Mr. Driller, great game. Love the arcade game. Muppet Monster Adventure. I love the Muppets. I don't think this will be a good game, but it'll definitely be worth trying, maybe around Halloween or something. Myst, never played that game. Always wanted to. I've heard the PlayStation version is actually not bad, but we'll find out. Ooh, Nightmare Creatures. This one I haven't seen, so let's take a look at the intro for this. I have no idea what kind of game this is. It's another one I just saw the picture of, and I was like, maybe. That horrible, crappy artwork in the front screams quality. Quality trash. Activision, when they were a good company.
He works alone, his hands defying the bodies of the dead in his thirst for knowledge and power. His name is Adam Crowley, a man who was once respected in the field of science until fate led him beyond towards black magic. Now he is in possession of the mythical Lost Diary of St. Louis, a volume that contains the detestable rituals of worshipping the Brotherhood of Radiant. Soon he will complete his work.
Wow, that looks terrible.
Tonight, as the sun sets on London one last time, he will unleash his demonic brood onto the streets. And should no one stop him, this city will be
CG at a time like this was just
nightmare creatures.
really not all that good. That looks better, but that's definitely not what you're going to see in the game. Ooh, spooky. That might be a game worth playing around Halloween. Ooh. What the hell? That's some weird noises. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. The artwork on the front looks absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. But yeah, I want to, it looked interesting, and I'm not turned off by it at all. So far, I have not been completely turned off. I have been surprised by some of these things. Some things I'm not surprised by. I'm not surprised that the CG animation in this looks like shit, because generally they did back then, and I forgive it for that. Rising Zen, the Samurai Gunman. I've already played Ready to Rumble, so I don't need to see an intro to that. That's not that interesting to me. But the Samurai Gunman, that I'm curious about. Let's see what that is like. It's like a samurai western kind of thing that I'm thinking of. Maybe an action game. Of course, most of the games on PlayStation are action games. or action platformers. All the best ones are. Age Tech. So, some of the names of these companies is just terrible.
Once upon a time, a blue-eyed boy from the Old West learned one of life's cruelest lessons. That evil was bigger than his gun. So he followed the footsteps of a mysterious master to the Far East, where he learned the secrets of the sword and came back home with the heart of a gunman and the soul of a samurai. Johnny had a dream of being a big and secret round. There wouldn't be an enemy that he could go down with a gun.
This looks absolutely terrible. It just looks, it doesn't look terrible, it looks ridiculous. And he's gonna fight some ninjas. Well, that's definitely gonna be on a list of games worth trying on here. Yeah, I'm definitely curious about that one. Riven sequel to Mist. Oh, it's only disc one? No. Saga Frontier. Already seen that. Samurai Showdown, South Park, I know that's supposed to be a good game. Spawn's supposed to be a good game. Spider-Man is an excellent game. Star Trek Invasion, that actually looked a lot better than I expected it to be. Normally Star Trek games really aren't that great. There's only really a handful that are even worth playing, in my opinion. Taifu is one of those games that's it's actually a lot better than it needs to be. I didn't get... It was too hard for me to beat when I was younger, but I wasn't really super young at the time. I was like 18, 19 at the time that I was playing it. So it's been a while, but man, I should be able to beat that game. I will try on one of my streams to play through it and beat it. Discworld, hilarious, fun. If you're not familiar with Terry Pratchett at all, read his books. The Discworld series is amazing. Tomba. I've heard of Tomba before, never played it, wanted to try it. Top Gun Firewall. I saw this on Mike Matei's Mike Matei live on one of his videos, and it has actors and cutscenes, kind of like what Westwood Studios does with their Command and Conquer games. So just on that alone, I want to try this game and see some of those cuts. It's got the principal from Back to the Future as one of the main guys in the movies. I want to see that. And Wild Arms, I'm going to try at some point. So that's the PlayStation collection here. What am I gonna go out on? Pandemonium? No. Oh, MDK. I saw lots of advertisements for MDK as a kid. I had no idea what it was. When I think of MDK, I think murder, death, kill. Could that be what that is? I have no idea still. I'm trying to not know as much from this point on about the game because I do want to play this game. It does not look great. But it was advertised everywhere. It's every single magazine that I ever saw had an advertisement for MDK. It was just everywhere. So that's one I want to see. I still have no idea what it was about. Kind of reminiscent of the Silent Hill with the huge, long, weird mask thing, but I don't know. Design-wise, I think from what I saw from the video, it looked kind of like if you ever saw Captain Power from the 80s, and kind of that kind of style, but done entirely with CG, kind of like that. So that's I guess that'll be it for the series. Not this. That'll be it for this this video. So wanna thank everybody for being here watching these with me. Get a little sneak peek of what's going to be coming in the future. For now, in order to play any of these games, I have this Xbox controller. It's the only thing I could get to work. I tried getting a PS4 controller to work. Could not get all the button presses and everything to work up. For whatever reason, this is not working. I have no idea why. I do not have a PS4. I got this for my PlayStation TV, so I can play PlayStation Vita games on my television. I was hoping I could actually play some of these with a controller that was a PlayStation controller, but the best I've got is an Xbox. I do have an adapter coming for an actual PlayStation controller, so I can play that via USB. So that'll be coming in the very near future. I'll be able to play some of those games. All right. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Keep your face covered. Have a great day.